Tecolote Records started at the turn of the century by John Pitt and Ryan Stively.
I had heard John's music on the internet and sent him a couple of, just trying to meet some new people. I had just moved up to San Francisco, and I really like John's music, and basically had sent him an email. I wanted to trade CDs, and we were like, all right, sounds good. And it's like, what's your address? Turns out we lived right across the street from each other.
Ryan had a self-titled CD that was making copies of, and I was pretty prolific back then, and just doing stuff on 4-track, and we just realized we were putting so much time and effort into this, we might as well put a name to it, make it something recognizable, kind of some cohesion to it.
Soon the Tecolote logo started showing up on numerous releases. John Pitt's Chinatown Bakery's many releases include the Tanani Cave recordings and Our Favorite Ghost EP. Ryan Stively's only release and extremely eclectic album Sugar Thunder debuted under the Tecolote name. Singer-songwriter Jeffrey Manson's wonderful debut, Dozing at the Abandoned Gunnery. Jem Van Vu's luscious and hush self-titled debut under the moniker Jean Marie. And Port O'Brien, whose recent success has led to their upcoming tour with Rogue Wave and Modest Mouse.
I've gotten some questions from people just about Port O'Brien. Of course, if anyone out there owns either of the Port O'Brien When the Rain Comes CD or Nowhere to Run, it of course says Tecolote Records on it. Basically, those were the first two things we did, and in saying we did it, it was kind of a mutual agreement between Van Pierzlowski and us.
Tecolote's DIY aesthetic is prevalent on the many wonderful packaging and art concepts that grace the releases.
If you look at a lot of the art that's around San Francisco, it's like, really influenced by DIY kind of stuff. Right. So I think there is more acceptance of it here, than maybe in LA, where everyone's trying to get signed, has business cards.
To me, and the type of stuff that we try to put out, it's really important that it's homemade. That people put some soul into it. I think that there's a lot of people in San Francisco who kind of model their music around that same kind of philosophy. I think that it's really important that you can hear the kind of handmade quality of the music.
Tecolote rarely grew into somewhat of a collective by artistic osmosis due, in part, to the city of San Francisco.
San Francisco has always been, since I've lived here, just kind of an inexhaustible resource of really intriguing musicians, and it's been an absolute blessing to be able to live here and play with such amazing people. I think everybody on Tecolote at one point or another has played in each other's bands. In that sense, it is a collective and a community, and I think everybody kind of has similar tastes.
You meet people who inspire you and interest you musically. Part of you is going to be like, damn, it'd be really fun to play with that person, and I think that's kind of where it comes from.
Yeah, if you appreciate or you believe in somebody else's art, why not kind of share that and make that as more of a connective, sort of force or energy in your creative life.
Tecolote proved to be an eclectic ensemble of musicians and artists unifying under one idea: to share art with other artists without the devoid sense of music industry success. Tecolote emulates a collective bent on self-sustaining possibilities with no middlemen and no bullshit.
Pennies on the tracks, fall down through the